but rather it's the way in which you fight, argue, let's say, let's use a better phrase, like reaching a mutual ground or reaching consensus. The method and the way in which you go about that as a husband and wife is the most important part, rather than necessarily the random fights or arguments themselves. Would that be a fair statement?
Absolutely. So it's, as you said it, all couples argue. I think it is completely necessary to argue because we're not being individuals if we always want the same thing. Or if we're not arguing, it means we're keeping things in and we're not being open and honest with the other person, which is a problem in a marriage. But it is how we have these arguments. So it is it constructive versus destructive? So are you always criticizing? As opposed to stating how you feel, asking for what you want, stating where you're finding a problem and asking, can we resolve this issue?
Yeah. So how would one go about doing that? Like broaching a topic that might be a bit uncomfortable. You know that it's going to be a bit of a gnarly one. How does one go about navigating that as a team to say, okay, these are my needs. This is an opinion that I have. We live together and we're going to live together for the rest of our lives, and we've got a child together. So it's important that you know this thing so that we can then decide, okay, what are we going to do about it? What's a good way to go about something like that?
So before you even have that conversation, you need to think it through yourself. So allow yourself to feel whatever emotions you feel about it, and then think about what kind of resolution would you like to this issue. And that's what makes it constructive, as opposed to just complaining about something, as if you always do this, or you never do this, or I have to do this by myself. So think about it yourself, and then timing is crucial. So there might be no good time to have a difficult conversation, but there are worse times. So if someone's looking at their phone, it's the worst time to speak to them. So do not start speaking to someone who's distracted by their phone or something else. If you could see they've just walked in from a stressful day, that is not the time to have a conversation if they're hungry. So rather say that I would like to discuss this topic. I'd like us to speak about maybe sharing the load more fairly at home. Is this a good time? Or can you suggest a good time? Now, you know your partner better than anyone else. If your partner's an avoidant person and is not going to let you know, so don't say, let me know when we can speak, because they probably will not let you know. So you can suggest a time and ask them to always ask if they have an alternate time. So the timing really matters. And in timing, it's establishing that you know what is going to happen in the time, so you're both prepared for it. And so there's no excuse, and there can't be defensiveness. So the next thing would be how you say it. So if you want something, you're asking for something. So in order to reach a positive outcome, you want to ask in a way that the person actually wants to give you what you would like, right? So you can't criticize someone into getting what you would like from them. So how you say it matters. If you don't want a defensive response, say it in a way that is easy to hear. So an appropriate, useful way that I always recommend is I talk. I feel overwhelmed by everything on my plate right now. I would like us to discuss a way of sharing the load more lightly. Or I feel overwhelmed by the load on my plate, and I realize that these are the things that I'm capable of doing right now, but these are the things that I would like someone else to take over. Can we chat about that? So you're actually going in with a problem-solving mindset. I've already thought about what I want. Yes, you're open to discussion and negotiation about it. Sometimes it might be your partner that's going to take over that, but sometimes you might have to brainstorm a different solution to the problem. But it's recognizing that you're not fighting each other. You are two people fighting for the same thing. Maybe you're fighting for a peaceful home. So it's not what we're fighting about, it's what are we fighting for.